Just have a look at this beautiful, beautiful little harbour of Nusfjord. This is Malou, sailing somewhere on the seven seas. And this is me, her captain, trying to steer her out into the unknown to be able to find that one very special spot. Consider subscribing and welcome on board. It is time to go on a little biking trip down towards the south part of Lofoten, towards the little place called Å and Moskenes and some more little place which I don't really remember the name of right now, but we got some northerly winds, so I'm gonna have the wind in my back on the way down. Just gonna surf along the road, see what I can find, some small fjords, mountains, and hopefully some historic places as well. I think I'm gonna send up the drone as well to give you guys a little hint of what we're experiencing. So my original plan for today was to actually go on some kind of hike, but I'm still having some soreness in my lower right leg from the hike on Varøy. Actually, a lot of ups and downs, and haven't hiked for a bit. Just made me, I guess I got a bit of pain as soon as I'm hiking, so gonna have to rest a little bit more before doing any proper hiking again. But so far this day is turning out pretty well. I've done my haircut as well out on the cliffs, so I hope that turned out well. This is a place where we're taking the stairs all the way up to this top right here. So they actually built stairs. I don't know how far it is, but all the way up there's stairs, but at the moment it's closed because of some kind of construction. So unfortunately can't go up there at the moment. But tomorrow gonna have to find some other kind of route. Now, there's a lot of places around Lofoten that they build tunnels to just prevent from avalanches and stuff like that, covering the roads in the winter time. But then the old roads that's running along the coast here has been left for biking and hiking basically, which is just perfect. So no cars where there are tunnels. It's just really nice. This concrete structure that you have here, I just love to see that, because that's some stairs for the salmon to be able to make it all up the stream and be able to get up here and spawn. And I guess there was some kind of power plant here before, a small one, but they're taking that away, adding those stairs just to be able to get as much salmon as possible in the sea. We are approaching Å, which is more or less the final destination, the last outpost here on Lofoten. And if you go any further than Å, it's just roadless land more or less. There we have the Stockfish Museum right there, and then the harbour of Å. It's really calm and nice here, protected from all different kinds of winds except for like south and east and northeast. Let's see if it's open. Doesn't really. Oh, the end of the road on Lofoten. So from here on it's just a big what's it called, nature reserve, the other thing, the nature, oh my god, English words, national park. So the thing that's above nature reserve, at least in like nature conservation kind of. That's what you find out here. Like the whole rest of Lofoten is just a big national park. So from here on you gotta either fly, take the boat, or use your legs. Got Varøy out there, and then this island that I'm on right now, it's called Moskenesöya. This looks pretty insane, doesn't it? There's like this really neon blue color just pouring down the mountain. But it's only right here from this part, and that's all. So that's pretty cool actually. But if there's anyone out there who knows what this thing could be, put it down in the comment section. In this building, and in those buildings over there, they got this fishing museum, which is probably quite nice, but like most of the things right now, at a Thursday in the middle of the week, low season, nothing is open. So just gotta watch everything from the outside, which is fine I guess, because it's really nice weather, and some birds who's not really happy about stuff. Hello guys! Maybe the fish that he swallowed has put itself on the side, so he can't really get it out for his children. Okay, sorry. This dried stockfish is actually being exported to Italy, Spain and Portugal mainly, and then the dried heads is being exported to Nigeria, because that's some kind of delicacy over there, to make some kind of stews of the head. And that's the main thing that they do, and they also eat it here in Norway of course, but most of it goes down to Europe. Now here comes the place that I couldn't remember the name of. Sørvågen's Harbour. Really calm and nice. And right here on the side of the big fishing boat, there's the guest pontoon. Looks really nice actually. A little bit of swell coming in now with the northerly wind, but apart from that it should be super protected in here. Here they got this old telephone thing with some books on the shelf, so you can just bring a book and just leave another book yourself, which is quite handy. I guess it's open all year round every day, so when you're finishing your book, you just go back here, leave it, take a new one, and there's plenty of books, so it actually seems to work pretty well. Last little village on this coastline called Moskenes, which is more or less the same name as the entire island out here on the peak of Lofoten. Get the harbor here, pretty nice spectacular church here, and then the guest pontoon is right out on this breakwater there. Looks really protected and nice. Otherwise we're heading on back to Rainy. Getting a little bit cold, so we're gonna go home, drink some tea and just take it easy, read a book. Oh, autumn colors everywhere. Back in Rainy on beautiful little Malou. It's almost dark outside now, but inside it's warm and cozy. Fix for today is gonna be to tighten up this gas lever, the crank, which this little thing that sits here is the thing that fixes it onto the engine, which one is the one that makes it possible to pull the crank back and forward but without it sliding. And now when I've been starting the engine lately, when it's been cold, it's been a little bit hard to start it. And when I put full crank in, like you do on this engine when it's cold, the crank doesn't really go all the way up that it possibly can. So I'm gonna be loosening this one, move the whole lever up a little bit and then fix it there to be able to crank this one all the way up to the engine basically, to get that extra starting power. That definitely looks better right there. It was fixed further back before. Now this one is barely just touching here when it's on the lowest possible throttle. So now I'm just gonna trying to start the engine, see how easily I can start it compared to before. Okay, full throttle as usual. Turning the key. Maybe a little bit. I think it started a little bit easier this time. Not super easy, but still the engine was quite cold now, so it was quite okay. So when I'm putting in gear now, it seems like it's actually engaging sooner than it did before, which is a good sign. So it just shows that the throttle is just connecting to the gearbox faster and better, which is a good thing for sure. So it seems like this fix was a good one to have done. We're heading out from Rainy towards our next destination, which is Nusfjord. It's not far at all, it's just under 10 nautical miles from here. That's gonna be a nice little sail. We're supposed to have like southwesterly winds, pretty strong ones. Not right here because the shelter of the mountains, but as soon as we get out a little bit from Rainy, we should have winds to be able to sail all the way to Nusfjord. And the engine didn't really want to start today. It was some kind of electrical problems. There is some kind of lag in one or two connections, but down by the electrics, by the engine. So I definitely need to take a closer look at that eventually. But for now, it's working, and I hope I won't be running the engine too much today, anyways. So should be fine until Nusfjord. Finally got ourselves a bit of a breeze to sail the last part to Nusfjord. The wind is not really coming, it's coming from there, and it's supposed to come from there, but I guess it's just turning and blowing along the side of Lofoten basically, because it's not powerful enough to make it past all these mountains and everything. So, but we got some breeze. We're making about 3.5, 4 knots possibly, only Genoa. So we should be in Nusfjord in about an hour or something like that. It's really nice to just turn off the engine and cruise along like this, just watching all of this scenery in front of you. It's like watching the best movie in the world. Slowly bobbing in towards this little fjord where Nusfjord is located, and basically no wind at all. Genoa is just hanging down more or less, but we're making like 1.5 knots or something, so just gonna be sailing as long as possible. And I'm starting to see a few little fishing buildings over there, so hopefully we can slow sail all the way into the harbor more or less. Just have a look at this beautiful little harbor of Nusfjord. Just so cozy and very tiny. When I came in here, you see the inlet here, I was just like, wow, this is gonna be pretty interesting. And then the dock over there doesn't have anything going to actual land, so that's a no-go at the moment. And then I saw this dock where I'm moored right here is pretty short actually. My loo can barely fit on here, and there's no real electricity on it or anything, but I think I'm gonna find that up here anyways. But yeah, it's not much room for boats at all, but I'm the only boat here, so that's pretty neat. It's gonna be nice just chilling out for a little bit, and then I might take the bike to the surf beach, which is a few kilometers north from here. This tent is just so nice to have over the cockpit. No water is getting in whatsoever. I can just be walking around here freely, and when looking out you can see that, it's a little bit hard to see here, but the tide is all the way down now. So this land walking thing that was more or less straight before is really steep now. It's more or less spring tide at the moment. Oh, so it's pretty dramatic tides, to be honest. If you look over here, you see these big fishing boats. Feeling a little bit humble while being just underneath here.